Hello, folks. This is Danny with Danny's Luxury Cruise Vacations. We are an independent affiliate of the Avoya Travel Network. And today we have one of our wonderful cruise lines, a tremendous partner of the Avoya Travel Network. We have Kelly, who handles our account, and he's going to share some wonderful thoughts about his cruise line. Kelly, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on and shed a little light as to who Azamara is, what we do, and where we go. So I appreciate it.
Beautiful. Well, having said that, Kelly, if you could tell us a little bit about who Azamara Cruises is, because as we know, and I only say this in a nice way, it's not a household name like your Royal Caribbeans and Princess. You and I know how wonderful the product is, but if you could share a little bit with the people that will watch this on who your company is.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because you're right. We are not as well known and we're not as common a name when folks think of cruising. We are not really full luxury, but we're not a premium brand. We sort of fit somewhere in between. I like to refer to us as upmarket. Some call us a boutique cruise line. I say upmarket, quiet luxury, because we offer four beautiful, small, intimate ships of no more than 700 guests. And we really specialize in slowing the itineraries down, slowing the pace of our itineraries down to really create a much more relaxed slower pace to the itinerary that allows for a deeper connection to the destinations that we visit. And so I would say when you think of Azamara, think of us first and foremost by destination. And the fact that we get from point A to point B with a beautiful floating intimate hotel is really a great way to describe who we are.
And I can even just add a little bit to that. When I sailed with you guys a couple of years ago, the beauty is in Malaga, for example, the excursion was over and I walked back to the ship. It was right there. The large ships, you can't do that. I don't need to tell you, in Seville, the big ships have to go to Cadiz. You guys go right up the river, and you're adding that beauty. There's no crowds, no lines. The longest I ever waited to get into a restaurant was 10 minutes for the open seating, which is not a big deal at all. So
Mhm.
again, a testament to your small ship experience. It's a wonderful product for the right person.
And I may add too, Danny, if I could,
Yep.
is that not only are we right in the heart of locations, like you said, rather than in Cadiz, we're in the heart of Seville, and we do that all over the world. It allows for guests to really experience destinations more like a local because a lot of the cruise lines, the larger cruise ships will leave much earlier in the day and we're there obviously much later and longer. So it really becomes much more of a local flavor in the destinations that we're visiting with Azamara because a lot of the rest of the travelers and tourists from other lines are gone and it's really us and the locals that live there. So it really does create that unique opportunity.
Absolutely. Where do you folks cruise to? I mean, do you go around the world, worldwide destinations?
We do actually. We are a seven continent cruise line. I will say there's a bit of a caveat with that, in that when we do visit Antarctica, we do sail through that area. We slow the itinerary down. We allow our guests to really see an incredible amount, but we are not an expedition cruise line. We are not geared for that. So we're not taking guests off of the ship onto zodiacs and other excursions onto the glaciers and things. But we do go to Antarctica. And as I said, we do visit all seven continents. We visit probably about 360 plus ports of call worldwide. We visit a little over 90 countries. But in addition to where we go, it's how we do it. And we touched on that a little bit with the slower pace. So to kind of put that into perspective, for us, we'll do over 360 overnight stays in a calendar year. And sometimes it might be one night, it might be two nights in a particular city. And then we do over 860 late night stays of 8 p.m. or later. So again, just really a different approach to visiting these amazing places around the globe. And I will add that we've also created what we call country intensive itineraries, where we'll take a particular destination, and rather than doing just a port here or there and then moving on to another country, we'll do where the entire voyage or a majority of it is within one country, a wonderful blend of marquee ports of call, as well as those smaller, less traveled hidden gem ports of call. And we do this all throughout Europe, Japan, South Africa, destinations around the globe. So you can really kind of see not only we travel the globe, but we see it a lot differently than a lot of other cruise lines.
All right, so now that we know where you go and how you do it, can you give us a little insight as to about the onboard experience?
Yeah, I would say, and having been on yourself, Danny, I think you would agree. It's a very unique product in that it's hard to really pinpoint and describe until you experience it firsthand. But I'll try to do my best in that it is what I call quiet luxury. It's small, it's intimate, it has incredible service, and it has incredible cuisine and culinary experiences as well. So you have everything that a large cruise ship would have in terms of live entertainment, great public venues, fantastic culinary experiences, but it's delivered in a really unobtrusive, relaxed sort of country club casual manner. No more than 700 guests. As you said, getting in and out of venues is a breeze. And it really is a very convivial or congenial type of atmosphere. So we have a lot of folks that are solo travelers that will feel just as welcome as if they were traveling with a group and so forth, because our team does an amazing job on board of just creating this wonderful ambiance on every one of our 4 ships to really create a unique onboard experience that's really hard to describe, but unforgettable once you experience it for sure.
Well, I when I was with you guys, I fell in love with the product, and that's all I want to do now is cruise with Azamara. So there you
We
go.
appreciate it. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, you have a couple of amazing alternate restaurants. One of them is Aquilina, which is your Italian, and then you have an amazing steakhouse as well.
Correct. That is prime seat. So we have multiple dining options, as you mentioned. So we have our open single seat main dining, which is discoveries. And what's great about the onboard experience at Azamara is what we call destination immersion, and we're elevating that even more. We're adding more destination themed entrees throughout the different restaurants. We're bringing on board more of our international beers for our elevated beverage packages, things like that. But our culinary team has done such an incredible job of incorporating flavors from around the world into the cuisine. So you'll have a destination themed starter, main, and dessert in the main restaurant. You have, as you said, our steakhouse, which is Prime C, and Aquilina, which is our Italian themed restaurant. That's our 2 specialty restaurants for guests staying in the suites. That's always included throughout the voyage. For guests in verandas and lower, there's a small cover charge for that, but well worth it. It's multiple courses. You have free flowing wine that's going to pair nicely with your dinner. And like you said, it's just a nice, intimate experience in both of those particular restaurants as well.
And I'll tell you, when we got on the ship in Barcelona, what I loved was in the aft of the ship where you had your buffet, you had the outdoor eating area. So I'm sitting out there eating an amazing meal on a beautiful sunny day overlooking Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
You sit out there in the morning or the afternoon or sunset, it doesn't get any nicer than that.
Yeah,
And never had
absolutely.
never had a problem getting an outdoor table, so it was fabulous.
Yeah, there's another spot too, and I'm sure you've experienced it. So for lunch, we have our casual fare in obviously in Windows Cafe, which is our buffet. But just outside on the pool deck, as you know, is the patio,
Yeah,
which during the day more casual fare and so forth. But at night, it becomes off the menu linen service, no reservations required, no extra charge. But it does become a nice dinner spot that you can dine al fresco in great destinations like Barcelona. One of my favorites was Santorini. All the other cruise lines are gone. Sun's going down, beautiful sunset, and you're able to dine outside. So we have that option as well.
nice, nice. Um, we kind of touched on it a little bit as far as inclusivity. I mean, unless you want the premium drink package, drinks are included. For suite guests, the specialty restaurants are included.
Mm-hmm.
For the lower categories, you pay a nominal fee. Is there any other? And then, of course, your spa packages and excursions, but otherwise, clients don't really have much to worry about.
No, it's one of those things where I like to say we're not all inclusive, but we're very inclusive.
Yeah.
So, for example, we include standard spirits, wine, beer, specialty coffees and teas, sodas, bottled water. All of those sorts of things are included throughout the voyage, not just at meal times. If guests want to upgrade, they can certainly upgrade to either the premium or ultimate beverage package. What's really nice about it too is, unlike traditional cruise lines, if you're traveling with someone that doesn't want to upgrade a beverage package, but you do, you can, and your guest and the other guest in the stateroom is not required to do so, or
Nice.
you can pay as you go. We have again included gratuities. We have this specialty restaurants are included for the suite guests. They are not included for guests in verandas or lower. So you might want to look at the suites because there is some great value there. There's dining packages and so forth. We also don't include Wi-Fi. We have improved the reliability and stability and speed of our Wi-Fi. It's improved greatly. Will we include it down the road? Maybe, I hope so at some point, but at this point we don't. But you can, for a very small fee, pay for a full voyage package for Wi-Fi. So again, we're not all inclusive, but we're very inclusive. But the one thing I will add that we always include on those voyages, 7 nights or longer, is that Amazing evening. And it's an incredible evening event. It's bespoke. We've carefully curated that particular event to highlight a particular destination. So these are things like the Goldani Theater in Livorno and the Three Tenors performing just for our guests. We've had concerts in the Ancient Theater of Ephesus. I've done an incredible Carnival performance, experienced that at the Solis Theater in Montevideo, Uruguay. So we do these around the world. Those are always included in complimentary. And we're also bringing more destination experiences on board. We've added 34 new Amazing evenings. We're bringing on throughout the calendar year over 250 destination experts to do what we're calling stories under the stars out on the pool deck. So a great way to have a local speaker talk about the history, the lore, the folklore, and so forth of destinations. That's included as well. So very, very inclusive, but not all inclusive.
Having said that, who is a I guess your demographics? Do you have a target audience or?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's really hard to always pinpoint because we are becoming more and more known, I think, for our destinations and our itineraries. So we're starting to skew a little bit younger on particular itineraries, but on average, I would say our guest range is between 50 and 70. Probably sweet spot is about 60 to 63. I would say that most of our guests are what we like to call empty nesters with an explorer mindset. They're really joining Azamara because they want to experience the destination and have more time to do it, but unpack once, relax, settle in, and have basically their hotel going from place to place and not having to see a particular city, pack up, have their bags out, move on the next morning, drive half a day to the next city, and then start to explore again. So I really kind of caters to really just about anybody that loves destination. And I would also say some interesting things recently is that we started to see, again, some younger folks joining us, but also a lot of first-time cruisers and first to brand in the last couple of years. For example, last summer, I was in Iceland and about 55% of our voyage, and we were fairly full that particular itinerary. About 55% of the ship had never sailed with us before, but we have an incredibly high repeat rate. As you mentioned, you really love our brand. You've experienced it. You like to come back because of what we do. And because of that repeat rate, if you get guests on, they're going to come back again and again. And so we're starting to see a lot of first-time cruisers because of our itineraries and the things that we do off of the ship. And we just happen to deliver it, like I said, from that very intimate, small boutique hotel at sea.
And you kind of just touched on my next question was who is a good fit, with the demographics, where you go, the late nights, people that are into the destination and want more focus on a specific area, they'll be extremely happy with Azamara.
Absolutely. I like to say because of destination immersion and really being the true global leader in small cruise ship destination immersion. That's not to say anything disparaging about the other great brands that are out there. It's just simply what sets us apart and always has been for the 10 years that I've been at the brand. And I think the thing that really allows Azamara a unique position in the marketplace is that we have folks that come from FIT land because of our itineraries. We have guests that do a lot of river cruising and they like the pace of a river cruise and the accessibility of a river cruise, but they want to try something on the open ocean and go to places that are really only accessible by larger cruise ships. So we're sort of an ocean going version of a river cruise. So we'll see a lot of guests come from river cruising. And then we have a lot of people, and in the last few years, I think you would agree, you're seeing more and more people go from large ships to wanting to sail on something smaller and more intimate. So again, guests are joining us from all sort of facets and all sections of the travel market. simply because of our itineraries and the way we deliver destination.
Beautiful. Well, Kelly, those are all the questions that I had for you. Would you like to just add any parting words, anything that maybe I didn't think of asking you that you would like to share with the audience?
Just in conclusion, I alluded to it a little bit throughout, but just that we've taken what we've always done really well with destination immersion and we're elevating it by adding more experiences ashore in terms of more shore excursions are available. We're adding more country intensive itineraries. We're bringing more guest lecturers on board the ships, more Oz Amazing evenings. So what we've always been known for is evolving and growing and improving. So you can look to us to sail in 2026 and well beyond because we have itineraries I think will cater to just about anybody that would be listening. We have our world voyages, we have grand voyages, as well as those country intensive itineraries. So there's really something for everybody. And again, just the incredible value that we offer by being so inclusive, but at a price point that I think is very attractive when comparing to others because we include so much. You look at the value of what we do, it's pretty incredible. So Danny, I really appreciate the opportunity to visit with you today and share some insights on Azamara, and I certainly appreciate your support of our brand and
Absolutely.
look forward to welcoming you back on
Thank you.
sometime soon.
Absolutely. And I look forward to coming back.